This is when you get to the point where you have that 4-hour work week, right? It probably starts with 40 and then down to 20 and then down to 1 day a week. And then next thing you know, you're just going in for your manager meeting, right? That's it. And then you just maintain that until there is a problem and you have to step back in. And then you rebuild the problem, solve it, put the processes and the people back in, and then you step back out again. But the system does allow you to have that time freedom, work the 4 hours a week after you've gone through these steps. What's up, Mansion Builders? I want to talk to you today about working a 4-hour work week in your assisted living business. Is it realistically possible that you can get to that place where you have time freedom, you're able to spend all the time with your family and travel around the world and vacation with this niche? And I would say definitely yes, right? That's what Laura and I do. We work, I probably work 0 hours at Platinum. Laura works probably 2 to 4 hours a week at Platinum. So we have gotten to that place, and I want to talk to you about what it looks like, how long until you can get to that time freedom, until you can be working less than 1 day a week, and what are the steps? What do you need to do in order to get to that place? So I look at it from this perspective. You as the owner, you have to build out 3 things before you can get to time freedom. And that's the 3 Ps. That is your product, your process, and your people. So let's first start with your product. What is your product? And there's 2 parts to this. There is your physical building, that's your mansion, that's your REO, that's your house, that's your big family facility, whatever you're gonna have, your physical product. And then there's also your service. So really that's where you start as the owner. If you're putting this deal together, you're building out your product. What does the actual physical building look like? How many rooms, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many beds are you gonna be licensed for, right? That's your physical product. And then your service, your niche. Is it more independent style? Is it assisted living? Is it memory care? Is it end of life? How do you solve the problem, and what problem are you solving with your product and your service? And I think your product type is the determining factor whether it's possible or not in order to get to time freedom. And what I mean by that is if you did the right size deal, if you have the income, if you have the people and able to support you and the business so that you can get to time freedom. Because if you do a small deal, a dinky little REL deal, I don't think there is any possible way that you can get to time freedom. So our product are these 16-bed mansions. That allows us to have the income. We make $100,000, $120,000 of income per month. That allows me to be able to afford the structure that we're gonna talk about next, afford the people, afford the systems, right? At that place, I can continue to build and create the time freedom. But if I had an income of $30,000, $40,000 a month, I wouldn't have the income in order to build out the systems and the team to be able to pull myself back out of the business. So I think this is your kind of line in the sand. It's a fork in the road. Can you get to this route going the dinky REL? I don't think so. Can you get there to time freedom with a bigger life-changing deal? Absolutely yes. So the second thing is your process. That's like your systems. And I think realistically, it's that first 6 months to 12 months where you as the owner or as the CEO, your focus is building systems. It's taking one problem at a time, listing them all out and saying, this is the biggest problem I need to solve. I'm now solving for that. Sometimes you solve for it and it's wrong and you got to re-solve for it, right? And you're solving the problem, you're systematizing it, you're creating your processes, and then you move down, what's the next problem to solve? And it's just literally week by week by week. I'm meeting with my managers, I'm going through my meetings, what are my issues, where's the pain points, and I'm just spending that first 6 to 12 months solving problems, systematizing my business, creating a flow between all my different processes and routines. So you're just trying to find what's the biggest pain point? What's the bottleneck? Is it my marketing? Am I getting calls? Am I getting leads? What about my touring? Am I actually able to close the deal? Can I sell my beds? And then perhaps maybe it's my hiring or my training. Can I get good quality people in here? Do I have the structure and the systems in order to train them and equip them to provide great care? And then perhaps it's my medication management with my residents or perhaps dementia care. Lots of different things that are problems as you push through and grow your company. Really, it's just what's the next pain point until really you get to a place where there's not really any more big pain points. There's lots of small deals. There's always going to be small problems. But once you've solved all the big problems, that's really when your job of creating your processes is over. So the next P is your people. I think this is the hardest part. Your product, you build on the front side, right? It's kind of done. Then you just maintain it. Same with your processes. You spend the first year building out your processes, and then really you maintain it. The people is an ever-going cycle. People will come and they will go, and then you'll always have this flow of people. So your job is finding good people and making them great. Taking the systems and the processes that we built and teaching them, training them one person at a time, starting with your managers, having your managers assist to train your caregivers, train your chef on all the job roles, on the checklists, on the systems and the policies and procedures, everything that you do until you have good people that become great at their jobs. You've built a culture, you've built a team, right? You've fired probably a lot of bad apples, people that don't fit this culture, and you've taken good people and you've made them great, right? You invested in them. And then after a while, you've built this culture, and your managers, if you've trained them to be great and they understand the culture, now they can replace you. They can be the ones doing the hiring, doing the firing, training the people, building the culture. And really, now this flywheel is going, and it's really going without you. This is where you start stepping back, one job duty at a time, one responsibility at a time, handing these things off to your managers, because now you have the right people, they have the right systems and processes, and you have a great product. This is when you get to the point where you have that 4-hour work week, right? It probably starts with 40 and then down to 20 and then down to 1 day a week. And then next thing you know, you're just going in for your manager meeting, right? That's it. And then you just maintain that until there is a problem and you have to step back in. And then you rebuild the problem, solve it, put the processes and the people back in, and then you step back out again. And there may be ebbs and flows because business is not easy and it is not perfect. If you're gonna have a life-changing business with 40 plus grand a month of cash flow, it's gonna be hard. There's gonna be problems to solve. But the system does allow you to have that time freedom, work the 4 hours a week after you've gone through these steps. So for example, I was talking to one of our partners last week and she's telling me about the freedom that she has. She makes $40,000 net profit per month from her mansion. And now she's at a place after about a year of operating where she's barely working in the business. She has her team built out and they are handling everything, and it's going relatively smooth. There's always issues, but she has 2 managers there to solve and be on the front line for these issues. So now she is so passive that she started another company in an entirely different industry, and she's focusing all her time there, growing her wealth while she has the consistent income coming in from her mansion. So this is what we do. We partner with people around the country to build one of our mansions. And you'll use the same 3 Ps that we have. You'll literally build our same product, right? The mansion, you'll have the physical building and the service the same. Then the processes, you're not reinventing the wheel. You're literally taking our process step by step by step. The hardest part is the people. You are finding good people, and then we are helping you train them. Literally, our managers are training your managers, and then your managers are training your new people, right? Your chef and your caregivers. We are walking through all 3 Ps with you so that you can have a life-changing deal and get to time freedom 4 hours a week, usually about year 2. So if that's something that interests you, hit the website memorycaremansion.com, check out the videos on who would be a good partner for us, and you can apply there. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.